Hi, my name is Lemme, and here is a quick little story time about I was fat. I don't have any picture evidence because I'm filming on my phone, but here's how I lost weight, why I ended up gaining weight, what all happened, what led me to the point that I got to, and how I'm at where I am now. So, when I was 10 years old, I started playing sports. Let me get into. Here we go. Well, I don't know. But when I was 10 years old, I started playing sports, and I played soccer, I played tennis, I swam, was really, really fit, and that lasted up until I got my period. After I got my period, I just kind of I didn't feel like I could be athletic anymore. I know that's really sad to say, but that's how I felt. So I just kind of started backing away from sports. I quit tennis and I quit swimming, and these flies are driving me crazy. Um, I didn't quit soccer until because I got my period when I was 13, and I didn't quit soccer until I was like 14 because I tore my ACL and then I quit after that. So I had a lot of downtime where I was on my in my bed a lot. I'm drinking orange pop. So I was in bed a lot for months at a time because of how bad I messed my knee up. During that time, I didn't gain. I started gaining a little bit of weight here and there, and it got to the point where my weight gain was subtle enough to where I didn't actually notice it. I was a really ugly child, and I just I just didn't care. I did not care. I wore my hair up in a bun every day, still do. I wore it up in a bun every day. I never brushed it, still don't. I just did not take care of myself when I was younger at all. So I started gaining weight, and I grew to be 5'8", and I stopped growing after I was 16. I was 5'8", and I weighed 225 pounds. And I remember being proud of myself because in my head, I felt like I was skinny and I was healthy, but I was really pretty chunky. I mean, in comparison, hold up. This is me now. Alright? And before, I could never even fit into these jeans before recently. I mean, and these are big on me now. They're 10s now, and I'm wearing a size 8-6 now. So, I mean, but I was wearing like a size 14, size 16, something in there. And I never noticed that I was huge. I didn't notice that I was so big until I was 17. But when I was 15, I started dancing. Sort of. It wasn't like me working out dancing. It was every other week I would go to dance, to a drama class where we would dance kind of thing. So I thought that would be enough to get me on the fast track. So I kept gaining weight. Junior year, so I was 17. I went through a horrible breakup, and I'm just massive depression sunk in, and I stopped eating pretty much. I got down to where I was eating maybe sometimes one meal a day. Sometimes I wouldn't even eat that. Some days I remember vividly going 2 weeks without eating one time. And you don't have to lecture me. I know that was really unhealthy. I was just sick. My body was not hungry. Nothing happened. And then it didn't help that I got diagnosed at the same time with von Willebrand, and I felt like it was the end of the world because I was diagnosed as sick, and depression just set in. It was like one thing after another. Then I met Caleb, who I'm with now, and we've been together a year now. And that year, that's when I met him, was that year. And he started trying to be positive with me and everything. And he didn't know about my eating habits until a little bit later. Because every time I was out of the house, I would eat. But as soon as I was at home, I wouldn't eat. My parents caught on. At first they thought, okay, well, she's eating at school. She's eating at, she's eating at her friend's house because I was always out of the house. And I used to have free lunch at my school. But my free lunch ended senior year. So I went almost 6 months And then the summer, so like I was like midway through the school when this depression hit and when my eating habits just changed like that. And it was the summer of senior year, the summer before senior year, that my parents caught on. Because they thought my free lunch, I had free lunch junior year, but I didn't have it senior year. So they didn't even really notice it. But then senior year, I just told them I was dieting. And since I wasn't home a lot that summer, they didn't catch on. As soon as I went back to school, they put $200 in my lunch account. That usually lasts me like 2 or 3 months, typically. That $200 lasted me 3 semesters. Because I was just drinking maybe a water at lunch. Or maybe I would go, like if it were pizza day, I'd get myself a slice of pizza. And lunches itself were like $2 for lunch. And I was spending maybe 50 cents for lunch. So my parents caught on. They started telling me that they were worried about me. And I didn't want to hear it. And I just ignored them. I just brushed it off. Caleb then starts noticing that I wasn't eating. And none of my friends said anything to me. And I was kind of pissed. Like the only people who, like I'm pissed at them now for this because no one stopped me and said, look, you need to eat. You need to stop what you're doing and eat something. Because you're going to wilt away. No one told me that. I can name off 3 people that told me that. 3. That would be Caleb, Cynthia, and my sister. But my sister only told me one time. Those are the only people who ever stated anything to me about this. So I started hanging out with Caleb more and more and more. And by the end of senior year, he was pretty much the only one I talked to, him and Cynthia. And summer rolls around, start going to college and everything. And I'm still only eating like maybe a meal a day, maybe, depending on what's going on, but at the max, 1 meal a day. And I started dropping weight so fast because my body was just, for a long time I didn't lose weight, but then it was like suddenly my body just started like losing it all and it just kind of melted off. And I started feeling really sick, like the side effects from my VWD started hitting me really hard. And so I kept going to the doctor. They kept saying I was malnourished and all this stuff. My hair started falling out. And I lost weight really fast, and I dropped down to 150. No, I'm 150 now. Dropped down to 140. And and that's a healthy weight for my size. It really is. It's a healthy weight for my size. My BMI, I'm supposed to be like 130, but there's no way I can get lower than like 140 just because of the way I'm built. So Caleb we started hanging out with him more, and he's like forcing me to eat, like forcing it. He said, you're going to kill yourself if you're not careful. It's like, I really care about you. You need to start eating. And I said, no, it's not happening. And he and his mom would cook me, like, I'd come over and they'd start cooking immediately. And they would start making me, like, macaroni and, like, stuff that I really enjoyed. And they would put it in front of my face and be like, when you're hungry, just eat it. No judgment, we don't care. Just whenever you're hungry, just, get yourself something to eat. And that went on for about 6 months. And then I moved out of my parents' house. And it was like, my depression just lifted instantly once I was out of a bad situation. And I was able to eat again for once. I actually... after a month of being out of my family's house, I remember saying I hadn't been hungry for years. It felt like 2 years almost. I had not felt the sensation of hunger. And I looked at Caleb and I said, I don't feel good. And he said, what's wrong? And my stomach growled at that moment. And I said, I feel like I'm going to throw up. And he goes, Emily, that's hunger. It's like I had forgotten what hunger felt like. And I was like, oh my God, I'm hungry. And it was like a huge breakthrough for me because I suddenly was hungry. But I dropped from 220 pounds to about 140. If you want to see pictures of that, you could check it on my Instagram. Like, if you scroll back far enough, you can see how small I got. And it was unhealthy the way it happened. But it's a good thing it did happen because I was on a fast track of a lot of pain and issues for me. But like I said, now I weigh... this has been a year. I've been a year on recovering, and I'm trying really hard. My hunger keeps going away, and that's partly because of my medicine that I'm on now. But now I eat about 2 meals a day is what I'm eating now, like breakfast and dinner, because I'm not hungry at lunch. Or I'll eat 3 meals a day because I'm just bored. But I'm working on it, and I'm recovering, and I'm just getting better. I weigh 150 now. I'm 5'8". I'm wearing a size 8, size 6, and I have never been happy with my body in my life. So that's my story on how I technically battled a body. I can't think of the word. I know the title of this is going to be the word that I'm trying to think of. I mean, body image disease, a body dysmorphia disease. I don't want to say it was anorexia because I just stopped eating. So, and it wasn't bulimia because I wasn't throwing up, but I just stopped eating. So this is how I overcame my body issues. My eating. This is how I conquered my bad eating habits. There we go. That's the title of the video. Y'all have a great day. If you'd like to hear about more of my crazy life, you should check me out below. Check out my social medias. You should comment and subscribe or whatever you want to do. You should like this video if you like unicorns. And hey, have a great day. One more shot of my body just because. Look at it. Look at it. Well, have a great day.